Hello everyone, so in this video let us talk about one more medium level problem from LeetCode. The problem name is largest sum of averages. So the problem statement goes like this, that you are given an integer array nums and integer k. Now you have to partition the array into at most k non-empty adjacent subarrays. So you have to partition into at most non-empty k adjacent subarrays, and the score is of this whole partition, what you have done in this whole process, is the sum of the averages of each subarray. Now you just have to do that so that you have to maximize the score, and that's it. That's the whole problem statement. So what you can see is that you have to also return the answers in like within 10 to the minus 6 actual answer. Okay, so you can see which means that you have to return in decimals only. So this is the overall let's say now you will divide it into three, at most three subarrays. So the answer may be, there are different options, but one of the options is like you can take only one element, that is 9, 1, 2, 3 and 9. So these are three different subarrays, and the averages of the first one is 9 only, because 9 divided by 1, this is the total sum divided by total number of elements. That's what average is, and the total number element divided by 1. So the total of all of these averages is 20. Similarly, for you can also do division like this, that is just take the first two elements, that is 9, 1, second element, that is this, and the third 2, 3, like this element. Again, you can just find out the averages of that, and this is like a worst case in which like 9 plus 10, like 10 divided by 2, that is 5, then 2, then 6, that is 13. So the answer is 20 actually, because that's the maximum value. So you just have to do that. Now I just thought that, okay, can I do some greedy approach, like because what you can directly observe is that if I take the maximum values, okay, and just take them as a very single type of subarray, then that is very best case scenario, because it will be just the maximum number divided by 1, and all the rest of the numbers I will just club them. Okay, but the only thing is that how will I do that, because I cannot change the order, and then I go down and find out that the constraints are very small. And whenever I see that the constraints are small and I'm thinking of a greedy approach, try to do that in a DP approach. Okay, that's the overall thing that I come up to. So okay, now can I think of any DP approach? And if I come to a DP approach, what is the state? Like, how can I define a state in a DP approach? The state is like what all things we can define for a given condition that I'm up to. The thing is that if I have an array, let's take this same example of an array, that is 9, 1, 2, 9, 1, 2, and 3, 9, 3, 9. So what you can directly observe from here is that at any ith point I'm on, let's say I'm on this point, at every point I have two options. Either I will create a, let's say, partition here, or I will not create a partition here. Okay, so if I like, either I will create a partition, means that I will, like, maybe the partition start, like the last partition is here, so I will create a partition here. If I create a partition here, what will eventually means that this is one of the subarrays. But the only condition is that I can only create a partition given that I can at least, like, I can make at most k partitions. Okay, that is also one more thing. And like whatever partitions I'm making, the sum is like the same. What I mean by this is, let's say if one partition is here and one partition is here, then obviously this average of this remains same. So this means that the state is constant. Okay, which like the same if I'm talking about like dividing it out, which means that I can reuse this information again. If I can reuse it, I can define out a state, then it means that I can use directly DB. Now I have two things. Okay, whatever ith point I am on, and can I make a cut at that point, and by cut I have to also store that whether I can make a cut. For cut I have to also store a k, like how many cuts I have already made in the previous till now. So let's say I have two cuts, I have to make two subarrays. I have already made a subarray, then I cannot make a subarray here, like I cannot make a cut here, because this is one of the array, this is one of the array, two subarrays already. So I can only make cuts depending upon what is the k. So I have two things that I define out of state, that is whatever I am on, the ith element, and k, like how many cuts I can do. And that's it. That's it that you have to do. Now for every point you have to just do DP. Now DP of ij, which is like I, whatever I am on, and DP of ik, you can say, and k, what is the number of cuts I've already done. For that given cut and given I, what is the maximum subarray or maximum sum of the averages of those subarray is, and then you will keep on doing that for all the n, and you will print out answer. That's what we are going to do here, and now we'll try to memorize it. You just do it in a very brute first one, and then just memorize it. So let us talk about the code. If you have any doubts, you will mention in the comment box for this particular problem. So we have called this recursive function. Now we have two things, whatever ith from where we start from, that is 0, and the number of cuts I can do, that is k. Okay, that is, we call this recursive function. Now we have, now let us talk about the base cases also. The base case is that, like, let's say if my current, that is, let's say I'm going over this ith variable, that is number of cuts I will do. If this I go out of bound, okay, if this number of go out of bound, then also like I will stop. because like I've gone out of bound, number of cuts can be less than k also, that is fine. Or I have done all my cuts. If I have done all my cuts, then also it is fine, because let's say I have to done 3 cuts. I've done 1 cut here, 1 done cut here, 1 cut here. Now 3 are done. Even though my I is not completely iterated over, I have made 3 surveys. The last one I'll completely take. That is one, that is one, that is one. So that is also fine. So 2 conditions are there for which I will stop. Either my current goes out of bound, or the number of cuts I've done is less than 0. I've exhausted all of them. I will return 0, which means that I have done all my calculations. If k becomes 0, k becomes 0 means that like I have not iterated over all of these conditions, but my k has become 0. Like I have exhausted all my runs. Then that is not a proper thing, because I have to make at like, you can see that at most like k, if I have exhausted all my k. Okay, if I've exhausted all my k, but still I want to make let's say cut, that is bad. Okay, like let's say I want to make only 5 cuts, but like I have done like all my 5 cuts. Now I cannot make any more cuts. In that scenario, that is bad. So in that scenario, I will return a very negative value, because I want to maximize the answer. So I will return a very negative value. That case is like, just ignored that case. Okay. And if I've already seen a particular case, that is like, this is memoization. If already have seen a particular case, return that answer. Okay. And yeah, now I have to calculate out for particular states. So what I've done is that this is sum. Okay, whatever sum I'm iterating over, and that's the you can say answer. Now for every, so let's say what you can say is that from this current start, okay, so I have started my current at current I, that is my this is the current, and then what I'll do is that I'll iterate over. So this is the subarray that is starting from, okay, the subarray starting from this current, and I want to make a subarray. Okay, now my subarray is such that it will have some length. So what I'll do is I will start from I to the complete length, and I will keep on doing one cut. Okay, if I keep on doing one cut, whatever subarray I have is starting from I till the ith point that I'm doing the cut. So that is, I'm doing a sum. Okay, and if I'm doing a cut at any point, I want to maximize that particular scenario. The scenario is that if I'm doing a cut, the total sum I have divided by the total length of the subarray that I have, that is this ith, the starting current minus like subtract these values plus 1, the total length of the subarray, plus if I've done a cut at that particular point, my cut decreased by 1, and my I plus 1 will go to the next state, because I've done with all the calculations with this particular starting point. That's it. And that's it. That's the overall thing. And then we just return on the answer over maximum value I can get starting from the given cut position. So I have, what I've done here is that I have starting from every I, let's say starting from this I, or let's just remove everything. So let's say I have my I at this particular point. Now I can make a subarray like this. I can make a subarray like this. Okay, I have to just start from here. Okay, I can make a subarray like this. So all of these subarrays, okay, starting from this I will just do an iteration. That's this for loop to what all subarrays I can make. And for every element I'm add, I have total new length and new total sum that we have here. And if I do a cut here, now what eventually is mean that I have done a cut here. So I have to now start a new. Okay, so this is I, that is starting. So that is this I. And if I'm done an iteration here, I've cut in here, then the new subarray will start from I plus 1. That is this. So that is the new subarray that I'm going to start to. And if I want to make a new subarray starting from here, then I have to also ensure that I have done one cut. So my cut number will decrease by 1. So cut number decrease by 1. My I will start from I plus 1. I'll call this recursive function again. For the other subarrays, more I can form with the remaining half. And that's it. And that's the total value that I will give, like total score I will add if I do a cut here. That's how I've added the score here. I want to maximize it over all the starting values and just calculate out for all the things. And this is the TP value, which is initialized to 0. And if it is not 0, then I've stored it for the previous states. I will take directly those values out. And that's it. I can just return that total answer. And that's the overall logic in the code part for this particular video. You can like rewatch it, retry to think over like how you can see the constraints, how you can see the problem statement, how you can define it, how you can define a state, how you can like break that problem out into smaller chunks, and you can directly easily solve out DP problems. So that's the logic in the code part for this particular problem. If you still have any doubts, you can mention down in the comment box of this particular video. I will see you in the next one. Coding, and bye.